This changes everything for the Los Angeles Lakers as we have a massive update surrounding the Lakers' pursuit of center DeAndre Ayton, and everything has changed with this new report and everything that has been going on across the NBA over the past few hours. We'll break down this and discuss what it means going forward as everyone still waits for Rob Pelinka to make his first move. But before we can do it all, folks, if you're part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily and the latest Lakers coverage. As soon as moves drop, to keep you up to date with all the latest, so make sure to hit the subscribe button. You guys have been beasts with the support, folks. Probably the craziest day in the NBA in the past while. We're seeing Damian Lillard get waived. We're seeing the Bucks randomly acquire Myles Turner. There is a lot of things that are going on, and for the Lakers, they still have missed out on a center. They have not signed a center yet. I covered Jake LaRavia in yesterday's video. A small ball 4/3. Very, very good signing. But Rob Pelinka needs to strike here, and boy, oh boy, have moves happened. So a bunch of different things to go over here now. Let's just start with the biggest update we've had. Breaking, and we have another report as well from Brian Windhorst momentarily. But free agent center Myles Turner has agreed to a 4-year, $107 million deal with the Bucks. Came out of nowhere, and no one really expected the Bucks to be able to even get a big free agent like this. And obviously, they got rid of Damian Lillard. They're still going to be paying him $22 million, but they were able to stretch out the contract with Myles Turner by getting rid of Dame to bring in Myles Turner. As this pertains to the Lakers, the Pacers are now a serious contender to land, DeAndre Ayton. However, the Lakers still remain favorites, according to multiple new reports for DeAndre Ayton. And of course, we saw this, recent report, I believe last night, from Sam Amico saying DeAndre Ayton is expected to sign with the Lakers, and a bunch of reports dropping here. But of course, it's opened up a bit of a different, gap now with, it's basically a two-team race, the Pacers and the Lakers. And the more people start to think about it, and Brian Windhorst came out with a brand new report here, the Lakers were competing with the Bucks for DeAndre Ayton. So this leaves DeAndre Ayton to go to the Lakers to be their starting center. So this is a massive report from Brian Windhorst. And as of this moment, it doesn't seem that he's going to be going to the Pacers. It seems like the Lakers are the favorites, but this is huge for the Lakers. Again, full report from Brian Windhorst himself. He's saying that the biggest competition to the Lakers for DeAndre Ayton was the Bucks, which of course now leaves Ayton to go to the Lakers. And again, I do want to preface it by saying it is possible that the Pacers enter the race. I don't know how likely they are. I mean, Halliburton and Ayton could be pretty interesting, but for the Lakers, very good news that Ayton ultimately didn't go to the Bucks, because this morning and early this morning, the Bucks were kind of the favorite to land DeAndre Ayton for a while there. And I mean, there were some rumblings and reports about it. I mean, ultimately, it's not the case because they pulled off a ridiculous, crazy move to land Myles Turner, and quite literally a move that nobody saw coming. But it changes the outlook of the center, fight, because if the Lakers miss out on DeAndre Ayton, you are in a very, very bad spot, right? They're not in a great spot if they don't land a center. And there's been a lot of rumblings lately and a lot of videos covering it about how Rob Pelinka at this point is preparing for free agents in 2027. It seems like every single offseason, the report comes out that they're working on their next big free agency push in the following year, instead of actually focusing on this year, with reports coming out LeBron James wants to stay and the Luka Doncic, all those different things. They're going to be competing for a championship in theory this year, but they can't do so without a center. And again, reports have flooded recently that they're expected to sign with the Lakers. A bombshell from Brian Windhorst saying that, Ayton is going to be going to the Lakers in all likelihood. And as of this point, that seems to be the biggest outcome. And of course, again, a lot of people are saying that, because he went to the Bucks, the Pacers now have a vacancy. I don't think that, I think the Pacers are really mad at the fact that the Bucks managed to steal Turner from under their noses, but I'm not exactly sure. At least there's been no reports as of the time of recording that they are going to be pursuing DeAndre Ayton, the Pacers, that is. Now, again, the Lakers are all in on him. Now, regarding what it would take, you can see this here, just to kind of backtrack a little bit. So Ayton's contract buyout with Portland forfeited $10 million of his $35.6 million salary. We can see here, if this is the case, then the Lakers may be able to get Ayton for $10 million and use the rest of their mid-level elsewhere. And they've already used some of that on Jake LaRavia, who we discussed in yesterday's video, but they still have enough to, because of the interesting thing here where Portland forfeited $10 million of the salary. People aren't really talking about this. The Lakers still have money to give him basically the most that he can get. And it's crazy how much things have changed. I mean, Anthony Irwin last night was saying that the Lakers were the favorites to land Brook Lopez. He ultimately goes to the Clippers, which then prompted the Bucks to make a crazy jaw-dropping move by getting rid of Dame and bringing in Myles Turner to pair with Giannis, which has now had a huge domino effect on just the rest of the NBA, but specifically the Lakers, because they are the one team that is yet to get a center when they desperately, desperately need one. And we're seeing the Clippers shore up their center. Clint Capella goes to a team that the Rockets that already have two other centers in Steven Adams and Alperen Sengun. Craziness right now. Dorian Finney-Smith also goes to the Rockets. It is absolute mayhem. Now, regarding DeAndre Ayton, and I want you guys to let me know in the comment section, because it seems like it is, inevitable at this point, I'll probably say, I want to knock on wood a little bit. Like, I know when I made the video last week, a lot of people, where you have to give up assets for him, rather, a lot of people were saying, okay, I don't want him, right? I don't want DeAndre Ayton, especially if you have to give up assets. I think at this point, most Lakers fans, myself included, leave in the comments, though, I'm fine with it. They need to get somebody who has some sort of upside, because the West is a juggernaut this year. And I think the Lakers probably project as like a 6 or 7 seed right now, like maybe a 5 seed with their current team, assuming you get like an average center. Their biggest signing so far has been, Jake LaRavia, and they let Dorian Finney-Smith walk, which is something that makes sense because they didn't want to give him the 4th year. But at the same time, like, if you're going to save money by not giving him the 4th year, and of course he made a little bit less than the MLE, you need to go out and be able to actually figure out another deal that makes sense. And I think Ayton, who's averaged 14 points a game last year, has averaged a double-double every single season of his career. Like, he's underrated, I think, a little bit. His defensive abilities, I think his defensive effort, rather, is put into question at times. But you look at this like lineup here, like, it is a disaster right now. You have Luka, Reaves, Rui, LeBron, the same 4 as last year, which is good. Maxi Kleber is your starting center. I hate it. I really hate it. Not that I hate Maxi Kleber necessarily. I'd rather them work out a trade elsewhere. Your bench is looking a little bit cooked. Of course, you haven't added Jake LaRavia into this. He's going to help a lot. He'll be probably the 6th or 7th man, probably the 7th man. Adu Thiero, like, how much do they think he can contribute right now? They traded up $2 million, whatever it ended up being, for him to get him at the 36th pick. Like, it's interesting. And we saw Brian Windhorst yesterday say he expects a center on the Lakers by midnight and a trade for a wing. So in that regard, that didn't happen. But I would expect, and there's been some rumblings, or that was actually for this morning. So by the end of the night tonight, he would expect the Lakers to, get a center, we assume, by yesterday/today. And, Wendy's a pretty reliable reporter at times, but at times also not. So a trade for a wing is needed too. I think the best and most likely outcome here is that they signed DeAndre Ayton. They use the assets that they were in theory going to use for a center like Nick Claxton, the Knecht in the 1st round pick package, for a wing that can help shore up their bench / maybe even start, and kind of replace, not necessarily Dorian Finney-Smith, even though he's a wing, he's a big one, but kind of just get another point of attack defender, I guess, to replace Dorian Finney-Smith. And then from there, just kind of go and, figure something out. Because once Dorian Finney-Smith left, reports came out that they're going to be pursuing Hawks, Capella, and, Brook Lopez from the Bucks at the time. Didn't get either. Ayton now is at the forefront of talks. And, I mean, everything's changed across the NBA today, and especially the center market. And the Lakers, because of this, need to capitalize, and it is a very, very good idea. You can see here from Lakers Empire, Ayton's 100% a Laker. I think that's the case. Pretty big report here from Brian Windhorst. Let us know down below what your thoughts are. Competition has left for DeAndre Ayton, but also some new competition has emerged with the Pacers.